Hello everybody. So today we are going to speak a little bit about research and development and how being a dentist I can still manage to have this in my life, being part of research and development and trying to improve what we have and what we know in dentistry today. So I think that from the very beginning, when I was very young, I always had this big curiosity in my mind why the animals behave as they behave, why is nature like this. So I had all these questions in my mind that I always looked to get the answers, and I could get the answers from many different areas. I could get some areas from some science books that I was reading, some philosophers, or from some I don't know, from some religious books, and many times I tried to connect the dots between them and try to figure out my own ideas. So I think this curiosity I always had, and this is something that I still remain with this curiosity. I think that when we start to study and we start to go to university, sometimes we are confronted with certain dogmas or certain truths that we have to learn by force, so to say, even if we do not accept them as complete truths. Sometimes we do this because we know that we have to go with our teachers' opinions and in order to pass the exams. But we also have to know that what we believe to be true today are going to be maybe lies in the future, or we are going to go above this, and what we find to be complete true maybe in 10-20 years, it's not like this. So we have to understand it, to have be flexible in these terms. Another thing that I think it was for me a game changing was I was basically accepting that what I read in the books and what I was reading to be complete truths, and many times even the things that I was reading, I was not asking anymore to myself, are they complete truths? Is it do I take this for granted? And I think that that spirit was awakened again when I joined the MALOCLINIC. I think that joining the MALOCLINIC and having the Professor Paulo Malo as a mentor, and the whole team was for me a shock, because I was asked a lot of questions: why I was doing this, why would I choose this treatment, and the answers I was giving, sometimes I would get the answer back, why do you think it's like this? Why, where have you read this? Now think for yourself. Do you think this makes any sense? How would you like to improve it? What could you do better? So it was not just one person thinking like that, but when you are surrounded by people that cannot take no for an answer and cannot take like it is impossible for an answer, and you think, okay, maybe it's not possible now, but it will be possible in the future. How will I do this? So every time that I had a difficulty and I shared with my friends the difficulty I was having, usually the answer back was, okay, let's see how we can overcome this difficulty. What do we need to create? What do we need to improve? How can we give to these patients the same treatment that we are giving to the others, even though that they have completely different bone, for example? So this was something that it was very important for me, because a whole new world of possibilities opened to me, because I was like, okay, there's still a lot to develop in this area. Actually, I think there's still a lot to develop in everything. But this was completely game-changing for me, and because especially not only I had mentors that thought like this, but I was surrounded by a group that was exploding with ideas all the time and was exploding with how can we improve, how can we get better, how can we provide better treatments for our patients. And it was unbelievable. So this was very, very interesting for me, and this is how I entered the field of research and development. So I started to help to develop and create patents that for implant dentistry, for surgery, try to develop protocols that we teach all over the world. And I think that this was a major improvement for me. Another thing that I think it's very important is that we have to understand that we cannot do it alone. We can have these amazing ideas what we could benefit in our clinical practice for our patients, but then we need all the other people who test in the labs, who think about it, how they can make these dreams come true. And so we have a lot of research partners with different universities, like the Medicine University of Lisbon, like the group of research from Universidade do Minho, 3B, like the Technical Institute from Portugal. So we have a lot of different partners who help us with all of this to make our dreams come true. Another thing that it's important also are the brands, because there are a lot of brands from which we use the products, and these brands we are always trying to improve their products, and this is very profitable not only for us, but then afterwards for the brand themselves. So these brands also make these dreams come true. Sometimes we want to get to this space inside the mouth, and we need another angle from certain tool, and this really makes a difference, because we have to understand that we are working in a very small environment with no light at all, and we are not working 1 hour in our patient's mouths. We are working 2, 3, 4. We are working the whole day, so 8 hours. So it's very important that you do not get tired, and you are still able to provide the same efficiency, the same treatment from the first hour till the last hour of your work. So it's very important that you can improve also the tools that you work every day to have a better outcome. So another thing is, well, I already mentioned the fact to be and to have this amazing team that have the same thinking, that will actually come up with a lot of ideas. Usually we talk to each other and we say, come on, give me more problems, give me more dreams, and we'll find out together how the solutions will be for that and how we could make this come true. So surround yourselves with people who actually would like to create, would like to improve, and you'll see you wouldn't notice the time passing, because it's it's really amazing and funny discussions when you start to dream and you start to create. So now I leave you with 3 questions for you to write down in your journal. And the first question that I want you to talk about, to think about and to write about is, in your practice, you think about your practice, or you think about dentistry in general, and you should write down which difficulties you're having, which difficulties you are having. Now, write down which challenges you are having. And now come up with the solutions. What would be the solution for that, to have then a good outcome? Dream about the most weirdest thing in our field. Dream about it. Write down everything you think that it's impossible. Write it down. Maybe it's impossible today. In 2, 5, 10 years, 20 years, we don't know. It will be probably possible. Second, write down which people who are, do you know any research group from any university, you know, from any research lab, anyone who has the same mindset that you have and you would like to collaborate with. So think about around you, not only in the dentistry field, but in other fields that could actually complement you. In terms of, imagine, we work a lot in terms of the bridges and all the forces with the technical University of Engineering University of Lisbon. So think about a lot of different research groups that could be of interest to you. And third would be in terms of the industry itself. Look at the dental industry and look for the companies that you are using, that you love best, and actually that go for research and development. These companies that spend a lot of their budget in research and development are the companies that you would be very interesting to work with, because they always try to set dentistry ahead of their time. So I think that I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you never lose this childish curiosity, because I think I never will. So have fun and enjoy.